In this class, I'm going to be writing a Java program to show you how to calculate factorials. Now, I'm going to calculate them in an iterative fashion, which means I'm going to solve it without using recursion. So let's get started here. So let's create a new project. And I'm going to call this thing Factorials Iteratively. All right. So when you solve some problems, you can use what's called recursion to solve them. And recursion basically means that you have a method or a function that calls itself. And recursion is very, very useful in a lot of situations. It makes problems that are almost unsolvable, makes them sometimes really, really easy to do. But the problem with recursion is that recursion is very, very memory intensive. If you start doing really, really huge amounts of recursion, it can uh, basically bog down your system. It's not always the best fix for everything. So in most cases, even though recursion may be easier to code or to write, writing it in an iterative fashion, which means basically just use a regular loop or some other way, sometimes it's actually better. So let's get started here. So a factorial, as an example, just so that you refresh your memory, is something like this. So if I went 6 factorial, this basically means it's 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. That's what a factorial is. The answer to that one is going to be 720. So that's how I know if it works. If I actually see 720, then I know we got the right answer. So I'm going to write the program to solve this now. So the way we can do it is we're going to go int num and then fact. These are my two variables I'm going to use. I'm going to set fact equal to 1. I'm going to set num equal to 6. So I'm just doing the factorial of 6. I mean, I'm not going to, you could rewrite the program and have user input instead of a 6. But for the demo of this program, I'm just going to use the number 6 here. And the way the loop is going to work is I'm going to write for int I equals 1, I less than or equal to num, I plus plus. I'm going to write fact equals fact times I. So let's think about what's going to happen here. So I'm starting off with a 1, right? So the first time through the loop, the I is a 1. It's going to say fact equals 1 times 1 does nothing, okay? The next time, though, it's a 2. Then it's going to take it and go 1 times 2, right, which gives me a 2. Then the next time through, it's going to have a 3 in it, right, because I keeps going up. And it's going to take the current fact, which right now is a 2, and multiply it by 3, which gives me 6. So it's sort of doing this calculation, but from this direction. And it's going to keep going up to you hit the 6. So it's going from the bottom up. You could do this loop other ways. You could start at 6 and count down to 1. There's all kinds of things you can do, but that's what I did for this program. And let's print it out, make sure it actually works. So factorial, bracket, put num there, close the bracket, equals, plus fact. Because fact is my final answer. It's sort of building up my answer as we go here. So the way this is going to work is going to say factorial, put a bracket there, then it'll put the number, so it should say 6, and it'll close the bracket, equals, and it'll say the factorial number. Let's see if it works. And it worked. And it worked for the numbers too, so I could put a 3 there. Factorial of 3 is 6, and that works out no problem. So again, this is a little demo of how you could calculate factorials in an iterative fashion, which means to do it with a loop without using recursion.